I work with a lot of people and I'm always trying to get them to do things they've never done before, whether it's expanding a business, growing a team, getting rid of a team, or looking at ways that they can run their business from the beach, retire with enough money to travel and explore the world, but never run out. And yet, in the journey between where they start and where they end up, there's often a lot of excuses. And the most prevalent excuse is, I didn't have the time. I have regular coaching calls, mostly weekly, sometimes bi-weekly with people. And it's funny how many times as we get closer and closer to the next meeting or the next session I have that they're like, oh, didn't get done what I was supposed to get done. Can we move it? Now I have a lovely cancellation policy where you got to give me enough notice. Otherwise, it costs you several $100s. That usually makes people change their mind. Also, it prevents people from canceling in my schedule too often. And when you have as many clients as I do, that's really, really important. Okay, so why do people have this excuse? Why is it so pervasive and so consistent? And I'm going to ask you to say, how many times in the past week have you declared that you didn't get something done because you didn't have the time? Probably more than you really want to admit when it comes down to it. So if you have a project that's kind of like scooting along and not getting done, or something that you really want to get to, but you can't quite find the time, go to the gym, eat better, all the things you know that you really should be doing, but you're not. Here's the thing about time. You always have enough time. People say, I don't have time to meditate. Well, you only need to meditate for 5 minutes and you all have 5 minutes to meditate. A good question to ask yourself is this. So think of something you maybe didn't feel that you had time to do. How much TV did you watch this week? How much did you scroll through the internet? How much did you spend? How much time did you spend on social media? Chances are, if you took even half of the time that you spent on TV, social media, meandering around doing stuff that wasn't necessarily urgent, right? But sure, it needs to get done, cleaning out the garage. It's getting winter in Canada. We had to pull all the furniture out of the backyard. Totally important to get that done. But at what cost? What did I put off? Did I put something off to do that instead? And if I chose to do moving the furniture or watching TV as opposed to doing something like writing a proposal or some other commitment I may have, I can't complain when the work week actually begins or when I get through my work week and say, I just don't have the time. We have the time. We don't actually own time. We don't manufacture time. We use time. It's a tool for us to use. And it's up to us to actually say, what are we going to do with our time so that we never get behind? Getting behind is a form of self-sabotage. It's just us not taking care of ourselves. We know we should be doing something, but we don't do it for various types of reasons. It's usually fear of some kind involved. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear like you if so the fear of success is an interesting one because it kind of feels weird, but some people are really afraid that if they get too busy, that life will become joyless and they won't have any time for themselves anymore. In case that is you, the solution to that is create a wait list. You don't have to become any busier than you want to. You can create a team, you can do referrals, you can do outsourcing, you can do affiliations. There's lots you can do. So don't be afraid of success. Failure is just the other end of the spectrum, worried about what people are going to say about you most often. And if you can detract from that and say, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. All it matters is like, did I do my best? Have I tried? And maybe something didn't work. Who cares? Do something else. I've done tons of things that haven't worked. And by doing even the things that didn't work, I land into a life of all the things that do. And I got rid of the things I don't like, rid of the things I don't want to. So all of my time is spent on things I want to do. If you do things you want to do, if you do work that makes you happy, you will do it. If you stop using excuses on why you don't have time and really just do an inventory of what you're doing with your time, chances are you're wasting it. And it's a resource you'll never get back. So kill the self-sabotage, recognize what's actually going on. There's fear afoot, there's self-sabotage going on, and you're having a hard time committing to yourself. Recommit to yourself, put it into your calendar, create accountability for yourself. And as you look to the things that you are using to waste your time, create a rule for yourself that those are rewards. So you do however much work you need to do, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour's worth of important business building, life changing work. And once you're done, then you can sit down and you can enjoy the TV watching, the social media scrolling, or whatever it is you want to do. Can't say enjoyed moving furniture, but it was a nice day. So there's a little bit of joy in there too. But you're not going to enjoy it if you feel like you're putting off important work, because all you're going to feel is guilty. So quit saying you don't have time. You do. It's a matter of how are you using your time, and are you using it to move yourself, to move yourself forward, to increase your joy in your life of the things that make you happy, or are you avoiding all that and sucking all of the joy and celebration out of your life? Time will do that to you, but more importantly, how you use time is what's going to determine whether you live a happy and fulfilled life or one full of self-sabotage and remorse. Choose wisely.